Okay, people, let's dive into this. How many people know of people who have traveled and they claim they are frustrated? How many people know of people who are stranded in foreign countries? Before we get into this topic, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel so that whenever I drop a juicy comment, you will be the first to know. Or I drop a video, you will be first to be notified. Hit the notification bell. Let's dive into it. I have heard a lot of stories. I know of people. Even when I walk around, I see a lot of stranded people. And when you want to ask them the question, why are you don't have a home to live? Why are you living in the street? They be like, when I was leaving my country, this and that, the agent and that and that and that and that. Do not give me enough information. So what I want us to talk about today are the questions you have to ask before you leave in your country. Are the questions we need to ask before traveling from one country to the other. It is very important. It is very important to make inquiries before you leave where you are and go and you are worse off in another country. So the first point I want us to talk about is, what are your primary reasons of traveling? Do somebody just come up with a traveling opportunity and you just jump at it? Does somebody just tell you there's an opportunity to travel and you just jump without having a reason to travel while you're traveling? No, you should have a reason for why you are traveling out of that country. Is it educational? Is it for visit? Is it, ask yourself or tell yourself or have a reason why you are leaving your country or the country in which you are based in to another country. You have to have a reason. The second one, what are your core values? What are the core values you have or you want to attain in the country you're going to? You have to ask yourself that question and have an answer before you start making a move. The third, what are the goals you want to attain while in that country? You have to have a course of action. You don't just wake up and you go to a country, you don't have anything you have to go and do there. You don't have any goal you have set for yourself to go and achieve in that country. So why are you going to that country? Then you have things doing in your own country. Even if their country is difficult, you cannot just go and you're wandering around in another country without having a goal, a plan of action. What are the goals you want to live in that country? What is the kind of lifestyle you dream of having in that country? Do you want to have a lavish lifestyle or you want to be living in the streets? Because a lot of people are going through that now. There are countries, there are people living in the UAE in the street because they are stranded. They do not have a goal. They just told them, there's a traveling opportunity. You jump on it. There are people living in the US. There are people living in other countries in the streets because they don't have a course. Even if that country has work and you do not have the kind of life you want to live there, you don't have a goal set for yourself, you are still going to be stranded. So people should ask themselves, what is the goal you have in that country? Another question is that, do you have need for money, or during this trip, will you need money to travel? And do you know how you're going to get that money? Yes, I want to travel. I want to travel. Traveling needs money. It's not only to pay your flight ticket. It's not only to pay your packages. Traveling needs money even while you are in that country. Because you don't know if you're going for work. You don't know if you are resuming work the same day. And even if you are resuming work, you need to buy things for your house. Unless the company that is taking you on where you're going to work are going to fund those bills. You need money to go around. Unless that company is giving you a means of transportation. You need money for some small things around you. So no matter, even if that company is taking you, your salary is still going to come later. So you need hands-on money that is going to keep you doing small things. You still need money. So do you know how you will get that money and how much you will need? You need to ask yourself that question. Another thing I want us to talk about is create a realistic budget for yourself. Some of us are good at lavishing money and then we get stranded. You might have that money that you want to strand, but if you don't have a realistic budget for yourself, you will see that you will run short of money within that trip because you are in a new country. You are triggered to buy this and that, the things you don't see in your country. You just want to buy, but perhaps you don't have need for it. So if you set yourself, if you make a budget for yourself and work within that budget, you see that it helps you to stay in your school. It helps you to stay in your limit. And it makes it easier for you in that country. So let's keep asking ourselves this question. Another question I want us to ask ourselves: do you know the state of residency or citizenship in that country? Some people, for example, like in the US, they have permanent stay, they have visitors visa, they have naturalization. Do you ask whoever is guiding you to travel the residency status in that country, or what status you're going to uphold while in that country? It's important. Even if you're coming on a visitor's visa, you want to extend, do you know how you can extend? If you're coming on a student visa, do you know you have to extend? If you're coming for marriage, for example, do you know how the marriage procedure in that country is being done and how long it's going to be done? So you need to ask these questions so that you will not fall victim of the system. Or some people will say, "Oh, my visa will expire. They repatriated me. Oh, I lost my documents, or I do not have enough information, so I went overstay." Like in some countries, they have overstay. But because you do not ask, you do not do your research, you just jump into the traveling opportunity, and now you landed yourself in a situation. You will go crying to people. Guess what? You will be the first victim to your situation. You will be the first one to be facing the consequences of your action. I want us to ask ourselves, how is the medical system of that country treated? You don't want to be in a place and you fall ill and you go to the hospital, you're not able to be treated. Maybe in your country, you could borrow here and there, even if you don't have the money, or your family could rush and get you the money and send it to you immediately. What if you're in a country that before they send you money, it will take days and days and days? That's your life on the line. We are not praying that somebody should go into a country and be sick, but those are unforeseen circumstances that can arise for anyone. Nobody prays for that. But if it happens, do you know how you are going to manage yourself within that time in that country? Did you ask the person or whoever or the agent that is guiding you to travel? Did you ask that agent how the traveling situation are in that country? You did not. We don't ask these questions. We don't ask this question. Did you ask or did you find out? Did you Google search how to transfer money from your country that you're living to the country you're going to? You do not. So most of us, we just wake up or have an opportunity to travel. We just dive and we are making our documents, not knowing that when you are done making your documents and you land in that country, that is when you start facing all of these things I've listed above. That's when the real life hits you. And now, what happens to you? You are stranded. You are frustrated. You start looking for help. Some people might get the help, but some people might not. Some people, before they get the help, it is a hard struggle because you do not plan your journey. So, my dear people, for those who I urge you to watch this video so that before you travel, before you take on a journey or a trip, you will do the research on these things I have listed. That will help you. That will help you in the country in which you are moving to. It's important. We neglect some of these things, but it's very, very important. Thank you and stay blessed.